Can I go there, please? Can I go there? Can I sit there? Yeah, mind? Good boy. Hello everybody and welcome back to day 4 of my Vlogmas series. Today we're doing a DIY, but not before I show you what's in this bag, because this morning I went out to Poundland. I thought about filming in there and I thought you've probably seen it all before. I shared it in a few vlogs recently and it was really busy in there. So I thought I'd just come home and share what I picked up. Now this video is actually really exciting for me because it's another collaboration video with Mr. Carrington. If you guys didn't know or don't follow Mr. Carrington, he is blooming fantastic. In this game you get a lot of bad eggs, I'm afraid, but you also get some good eggs, and Mr. Carrington is 100% a good egg. 100% would recommend you go check him out. So he today is doing a DIY video, a Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas DIY video on a budget. So if you're into that and you want to check him out, then definitely go check him out. His craft videos are fantastic. He also has a series called Cruising with Mr. Carrington. If you haven't seen that, it goes down on all these different cruises. He's always off on amazing adventures. He's even on a TV show, for goodness sake. I am 100% a hype man for him, so there we go. Definitely check him out if you haven't already. I will leave his video link down in the description, in a pinned comment, everything like that, so go check him out after you've watched mine though, because I still need your help, okay? So let's go through this bag, show you what I have picked up and what we're going to kind of DIY today. I'm so excited to get into it. I put my red cardi on because, you know, Christmas vibes. I'm sat by the tree. Did I just kick the dog out of my spot? Yes, because I felt like I needed to be doing this by the tree, all right? It's Christmas. So now I'm not sure what everything actually ended up costing. So I got a receipt because I swear they're just making it up in there recently. I bought some things in there the other day and I paid double what I expected to pay, but I think it's worked out the other way around today. I've paid half of what I kind of expected to pay. So I can't make any sense of it, but there we go. So these baubles here, 6-pack of baubles, 8 centimetres, red glossy, that's what that says, £1. It says on there £1.50, but they were £1. Okay, good size, nice. You can obviously pick up loads of these little bits in the charity shop if you want to be shopping secondhand too. As you guys know, I did the whole Thriftmas series a couple of weeks ago now, and we saw so many baubles and stuff out on our travels. Something also similar to these, I picked up a glass version of these for £1, but these ones here were in there for, well, it says £1.40 on there, 12 pack, so 12 pack of star pendants, again £1, like original Poundland prices. Again, we love to see it, just like these stars in there. There are matte ones and there are shiny ones. Sorry, my camera's not quite focusing on them. There we go. See that? Shiny ones and matte ones at the top, £1. Bargain. Then I picked up this little packet. I went to town on the baubles because I thought we're definitely going to be DIYing some of these. I have a feeling these are also, yep, £1, and these are labelled as £1.40 as well, but they scan through at £1, as you can see the price on there, and there's just a whole load of little tiny miniature baubles in there. They are all obviously plastic, but we can spruce them up, okay? Believe and you will achieve. Oh, I picked up this little top in Oxfam. I went next door. They had loads of new, like, kind of undertops in Oxfam for £4, and I was like, I actually need one of them. They're M&S, brand new with tags, so I thought I'd pick up. These. So they don't look like much, and lots of them were smashed in there. But again, we're going to upcycle these. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all of them in this video. We'll probably make this a 2-parter. Maybe we'll do one next week as another little craft video. These were labelled as £1. Wonder if they scanned through £1. Let me have a look. 2-pack hanging gift decoration, £1. So they were labelled correctly. I picked up this. We're going to need some imagination. What? Imagination with this one. But I do have an idea, and this is something I've wanted to DIY for a while. Oh, mine's a little bit broke there. Oh, it's like wiry tinsel. We're going to repurpose this. This, I think, was supposed to be £1, and again, hanging tinsel decoration, scan through at £1. They also had stockings and wreath shapes as well. I picked up some sellotape and some little wire hooks. That's always a necessity. Sellotape was £1 and the wire things were supposed to be 75p and they were 50p. I think the sellotape was labelled as 150 actually, but definitely scanned through as £1. And then these here to upcycle as well. They were supposed to be £2.50, just a pack of tea towels, and they scanned through at £2. But I really, really liked this green fabric, and I thought yes to a DIY on that. So I'm gonna go have some lunch, and then I'll meet you back upstairs and we can start the DIYs. I cannot wait. Look at all of my goodies. All you want to do is lie on the sofa, and I'm leaving you no room, am I? You look lovely there with all those baubles. You just curled up. You can bottle them. Beautiful. Don't you like them? Yeah, and look at this. That is sweet, huh? That's cool. Yeah. Oh, good boy. Okay, first things first, I've decided we're going with the big baubles first because we're going to just get straight into it. I love these. They're right, good match for my cardi. Now, the upcycle that I have in mind for these, okay, is inspired by the fact that I got annoyed one year when I bought paper mache baubles thinking I was doing a really good thing. And you know what? It was paper mache over plastic anyway, and I paid like 3 times the price for these things because they were the paper like version, and I was like, I have been royally ripped off. I think it was Easter decorations or something once. So if you're in craft stores and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get a nice paper mache base, just, yeah, you might be being greenwashed, because I definitely was, but I thought actually that technique, that's going to work out well for me. I've seen a lot of like folky decorations and stuff this year that have been like paper mache and stuff. So yeah, I really, really like the size of these baubles. These feel really good to me. 8 centimetres, these are like quite like a good size, you know. Obviously you can find these in a charity shop if you want to instead of buying new, but the reason I'm doing this today with actual things in stores because we do the upcycles in the charity shops, and I always feel guilty that you can't do them, but these ones here today you can actually do. You can go in Poundland and buy them. So yeah, oh look, you can see my light and stuff. That's why it's so bright. It looks like an extra window, doesn't it? But yeah, the baubles I'm going to use are these ones, the 8 centimetre ones, and I'm going to start off by paper macheing on there. So I'm going to take my glue. This is just Tesco white glue. It's probably not the best priced one around that I've seen, and it's like really, really thick glue. You know, sometimes when you get it really watered down, I like to be able to control that myself. So this one here is quite a good glue at the price, just the Tesco brand one. I'm going to squirt it into this little candle holder because it's all I could find dotting around me. It's actually quite Christmassy. I found this in a charity shop before. It's like an old Next candle holder. Let me mind my face, but look how cute that is. Just little pipers piping on there. So next I'm gonna just get my paintbrush from my water pot. It is a bit gross. I was painting with it the past couple of days, and I'm just gonna pour a bit of water from that into my glue. Oh, it's a bit painty. Don't mind me. It's a bit of like a dark browny colour because it already has paint in. So that's not the most aesthetic thing I've ever done, but it will work all the same. It's just got a little bit of paint in it as well. So I'm going to mix that in, kind of like a 50-50 ratio of that glue to water with a little bit of paint in. So it's now brown. That's lovely. And we're going to paper mache over. So I found this tissue paper, which is literally just to the side. I got this out of a package that arrived. You can use literal any paper you want. I'm just going to paper mache over the shiny bulb. So I'm going to actually cut this into little slithers. It was folded a second ago. There we go. I'm going to cut this into slithers instead of ripping it up because I think that just lays better. So little strips. This is just going to change the texture on the bauble. So cut it up. There we go. Do you know what? I love a Christmas craft. I do. Like, I love crafts all year round, as you guys know, but a Christmas craft, it just gets me. So paint this on. It looks like hot chocolate, to be honest. There we go. And just stick on the tissue paper and then paint over it to lay it flat. There we go, just a normal paper mache. Tissue paper does work well on baubles because it goes around it and sticks to it, like really nice instead of like creasing up. I find the thicker paper you have, the more it will do that. Tissue paper, like toilet paper, or what do you call that, toilet roll, that works quite well as well, but sometimes it does rip. So if you have some tissue paper kicking around from any of those parcels that came on Black Friday, then use those. I'm literally just going to do one layer of this on there, see how that goes, and I might do a second layer once I've kind of dried that. I have got my heat gun out to speed things up because we all know how long traditional paper mache can take to dry, and I don't have all day. Okay, let me zoom you in, not to my neck, but this little bit here. So the top of the bauble to me is always a dead giveaway of how cheap and stuff it can be. So I've just completed this one, as you can see. I think that just changes the vibe so much. So what we're going to do here is we're actually just going to cut little strips of the tissue paper and cover up that bottom bit. We're still going to keep the top little loops so that we can loop on some ribbon or something. What we do is just come in here, cover that in the painty bluey mix. Obviously paint is optional in there, and we just wrap it around, covering up those holes. Do you see that? So we want it laying down nice and flat, and just a couple of layers on there is really gonna make that nice and sturdy. I've done 2 layers on each of the balls now, and I've done 2 balls, so this will be perfect. And then I've got a few more balls in there for a future upcycle. I do have quite a few ideas floating around in my head, so we'll do another one of these videos very soon, another Poundlandy kind of DIY. I have a little tree from Home Bargains as well, which I am dying to upcycle, so if you want to see that, make sure to stick around. Obviously that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Look at that. That is like a world away from this bauble in my opinion. And the little claspy part, look at that. I think that one looks so much like more handmade-y, if you know what I mean, and more countrified. So we're going with this. So I'm going to dry it and then we'll get to painting. Okay, bauble all covered in paper mache now. I'm liking the texture of it. Look at that. I feel like it looks so much more like solid, do you know? So I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to divide this up because I want stripes on mine. So I'm just going to divide it up with a pencil in half and then half again. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is divide it again. So in between each of these sections, I'm going to divide it into 4, like that. Do you see? And I'm going to do the same thing again. That will give me kind of equal enough sections on it. I think for this bauble it definitely needs like 8 sections just because of how big the bauble kind of is. Nice, all divided up. Then I'm going to go around at the center point of this one and draw like a line around there, almost like an equator around the bulb. Just kind of using my baby finger to steady my hand. That worked out pretty well actually. Nice even kind of equator around there. Next up, acrylic paint. You'll be pleased to know that I have switched out my water in my little glass container, so go me. Let me just angle you down so then you can actually see on my desk. Don't need to see my face. And we will start painting. I've decided on this red colour and this blue colour. The red that I'm using is just this one, dark red by, is it Dough Crafts or something? So it's not my favourite paint, but it's a really, really nice colour, just a dark red. And the blue that I'm using is an Arteza and it's just cold grey. So kind of just a like neutrally blue. It's the most cutest country kind of colour scheme you ever did see. So now I'm just going to paint those sections in like alternate, almost like a check. I'm going to do red, then blue, red, then blue. In fact, I'm just going to go to town with the red and we'll sort out the exact lines with the blue. That's going to save me a bunch of time instead of trying to do the edges on each one. Right, zoom in a little bit closer now for this part. So we're just going to go in and neaten up those obviously join edges, cover up the Sharpie pen lines that I put on there with this gorgeous cornflower blue. Obviously you can do this in any colours you want. I have quite a country Christmassy themed decor collection. Quite an eclectic one, but I really, really, really like blues and reds together instead of greens and reds, but this is entirely down to you. I think a nicer cream would be nice in like classic and traditional country, like a taupey kind of cream colour would look nice with a red, or even like a taupey colour with a sage green. That would look nice as well. Oh my goodness, I just had a little experiment there just to check that I like this, okay, but I do, and we're on to a winner. So the paint that I'm using is this one here, the golden acrylic paint. I always talk about this one in terms of like actual gold metallic acrylic. This is my single most favourite paint ever. It's very expensive for what it is, probably cost you about £10–12, something like that, but truly I will not ever buy a different gold paint. I've just popped a little bit down, and what I'm doing here is just painting on little stars kind of at the joins. So I'm just doing like a cross to begin with, just down the stripe and across like that, and then just an alternate cross in the centre to create these little stars. Look how cute they look. I absolutely love them, so I'm going to go ahead and do that all the way around quickly. Like I said, it's completely down to you what colour you do your baubles. Oh, I'm loving this paper mache texture as well. What a great first Poundland DIY. So I'll finish this up. I'm also going to paint the top in the same golden colour. What I'm going to do here is paint little triangles into those sections, so it's going to make like a little 8-point star at the top as well, just around that top kind of part of it. Oh, this is going to look so cute. I'm just filling that in, and then I'm going to paint the top part in the same golden colour as well, so that's going to finish that off nicely. Final step now is adding on ribbon. I decided on these two ribbons because I already have these in my craft supplies, and they were nice like coordinating ones. Do you see? Like a cream with a red, and then a red with a little cream dash down the side. This one here is actually from an old pack of pajamas, I'm sure. You know, like when you get sets of pajamas at Christmas time and they come wrapped with ribbon around. I just obviously took that from there, popped it in my ribbon box. So if you get any pajamas or anything wrapped up this year, save the ribbons from it because they come in handy. Has this little elastic bit to get it through the little teeny tiny loops. I'm just going to roll it around really, really tightly, so it's almost like a shoelace end. I'm pretty sure that actually has a name, and I'm going to poke it through teeny tiny little loop there, and then just use my pliers to get that through. I just finished off the other bauble as well to go with this one, so I've kind of got two matching country, they're almost like circusy really, baubles. Look at that. See, doesn't that make it look so much more expensive, that big fat ribbon on there? Velvet ribbons also work really, really nicely. I don't have any like coordinating ones though, and this just fits the bill. Once you see them both together, you'll get why. So let me just tie this in a knot, something like that, then pull it tight. Perfect. And then just snip off the end there. This ribbon here as well is like a polyester, so I'm just going to seal the edges all with a flame so it doesn't fray anywhere. These are all the little bits that make a difference when it comes to handmade pieces, aren't they? Like stores will rush this part unless it's a fancy market stores. So bauble number one, there we go. This is the one you saw me paint, but the blue and the red kind of check on there. I also put a star on the bottom. That just finished it off perfectly in my opinion. Matches the star at the top. I love it. And then this one here is the matching one. So we've got kind of like a set of two. This one has a thinner stripe, so a cream and the cornflower blue. That's why I wanted the red on the top there, and look at that for a set. Are you joking? These look much more expensive in my opinion compared to the original. Oh no, look. I've got an extra dot on there. I obviously just tapped that on something. In fact, let me just paint that back in. There we go, fix that little dot. Oh, how annoying is that? I obviously just tapped on something. Anyway, so let's not look at that side. Let's look at this side. Look at these two beauties. Yes, yes, yes. Obviously the gold little tops on there, I think that just makes such a difference with that bit being like paper mache as well, instead of being like the originals. Do you know what I mean? Like, let me get one of the baubles from the packet. So the top of the packet there, and then there's the finished one. Oh, I think it wouldn't focus on my face. There we go, look. Look, worlds apart, aren't they? I absolutely adore them. I'm so happy to have these. And they only cost me like, well, £1 because I bought a pack of them for the thing. So I could make another 4. Oh, I love them. I think they're so country-esque, something you'd find in a garden centre with that paper mache feel on there. Definitely get creative with your own designs. But anyway, I'm happy with these now. First DIY of the video done. Let's move on to DIY 2. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's 5 hours later. 5 whole hours, because I got distracted. And if you know me, I am an evening crafter anyway, okay? I come alive at night time. I've just had a coffee. It's, yeah, 8:30, but that's fine. Who cares? It's time to get crafting. So for this next DIY, I'm going to make a garland, okay? I had this in mind. As soon as I saw these mini baubles, I was like, I've seen the most perfect thing ever. I know what I'm going to do with this. Am I absolutely tangled in red wool right now? Yes. So starting off with a chunky red wool. I've had this in my craft stash for a while. I think it was originally from Hobbycraft. I'm pretty sure. I did a DIY cushion cover with it. So I'm just working out how long I want this piece to be. I fear I've just cut that into 2 pieces. No, I haven't. Okay, so it's double that. Is that too long? That might be too long, but I don't know. We're going to wing it. I'm going to take a piece of red. I'm going to take a piece of cream. Absolutely love these. I basically made a cushion cover once with these like a punch needle, like peppermint swirl candies. Oh my goodness, I love it. I've got it out on my sofa at the moment, actually. You might have seen it at the start of the video when my dog was curled up next to it. So I'm going to take a length of that in the same length. Perfect. Let's chuck those to the sides before they get tangled in something else. And then the twine we're going to use is this one right underneath the tripod. This twine mixed in. I think I'm probably going to use 2 lots of twine because that seems a little bit too thin. So 2 strands of twine just because of the thickness. And basically we're just going to plait these up to make the base of the garland. Now obviously I have these pieces in my kind of like craft supplies kit anyway, but you can find wool and twine and stuff in charity shops all the time. You can get it in Poundland, you can get it at home bargains, wherever you want to get your wool from, you get it. Anyway, I'm going to tape it down to my desk and just get plaiting. Let's get to this end. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a long garland. I don't even need it that long. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to pull you down. There you go. Oh look, got a Coke Zero for myself. Look at the state of my desk as well. Paint all over it. I'm going to tape this down. And I'm just going to get to plaiting using the red, the white and the twine. Like so. Oh my goodness gracious me. That's gonna look adorable. So I'll meet you back here in about 17 hours once I finish this. Got to untangle this. Oh, this is gonna take me so long. I'm probably just gonna put on a bit of music and just get to plaiting. Oh golly. So I just went and measured. I just went and measured this. This is literally 3 times as long as I needed it to be. I've got to cut half of it off now, so that took me way longer than it needed to be. Right, I'm up to a knot. I've put a knot in it where I actually need it. There, so I've plaited way more than I needed to. It got so hard towards the end. There, right, okay. We'll put that aside for another DIY. This is how long I needed my garland to be. It's still very long. And what I'm going to do here, like, by the way, this has turned out fantastically. Plaiting those bits together kind of reminds me of like a dog rope toy, but I mean very cute nonetheless. It's giving candy cane vibes, just with a little bit of like rusticness. Is my camera even focusing on me now? No, yeah, just with a bit of a rusticy vibe in with the twine in there. So I'm gonna use these baubles and attach them to the garland. I think that would be nice. You can obviously upcycle these baubles if you want to, in the same way as we did like the previous ones where you paper mache them. I don't have enough time to do that tonight, but I might do that at a later stage. How do I open this packet? It's like taped shut so well. Okay. There we go, we're in. Now the way I'm going to attach them is by using the little wire hook things that I bought. These things I need for my tree anyway, like my main tree, because I've got a couple of vintage ornaments on there. Anyway, so I'm just going to get my wire, poke it through one of these baubles, and then just thread it on to the little braid, twist it, and then fold it around again. Take some wire cutters and just cut off the excess, and then they're on there then, and I can remove them if I want to change them out for different ornaments, you know. Oh, cut the ends off. There we go. One bauble. Now there are different textures in here. I quite like them gold, to be honest. I was going to buy the red ones, but I thought that might be a bit of overkill. Oh, they do come with thread, but it's not threaded on the baubles, but that's okay because we're kind of cheating anyway with the wire. I just think that's gonna be quicker, so got to go with like this matte type bulb. I think that would be good. Round about a hand's width away. That'll do for measurements there. Again, just poking it up through the plait, twisting it around a little bit. In fact, I'm going to use my pliers for that. So just twizzle it around, make sure that they're in there, and just go cut off the excess. In fact, there we go, there's two. And again, about a hand width, I'm going to use the rest of this little hook, hook it through, and I'm going to go, do I like this really matte one? I don't know, that seems like a different shade. Screw it, we're going to do that. Needs to be a little bit closer though. So we'll go shiny, textured, matte, shiny, textured, matte. So I'm just going to repeat this process over and over along the garland, and that will be that complete and nice, easy one, but just definitely jazzied up with that kind of plait throughout the centre. Gives it that little country twist with the twine in there. Let's cut the excess off with there. There we go. That beautiful. This is going to be looking lovely. You can also put bells on these. These are kind of giving me bell vibes, I'm not going to lie. Just obviously a cheaper version. And like I said, you could paint these any colour. You can do whatever you want with them. I was going to paint mine in like little checks, but I think this will work out quite nicely actually. So I'm just going to keep on going until I use up all of those bulbs. Okay, the garland is complete. Are you joking? Look how cute this looks. I was going to be painting these bulbs, but I think they're just great as they are. I just think it adds a cute little touch. I kind of like the fact that I haven't hung them all straight, if you know what I mean. You obviously can just dawdle them around with the little wires on and just place them however you want them to sit, but I like them a little bit kind of sprayed all over the kind of plait, if you know what I mean, like not sitting all identical, but there they are. Look, I really like this. I really like the heart base, plait base on this. I think that looks just lovely, and it definitely makes the baubles a bit more expensive looking. So all in all, this is 175 centimeters long, mine is, and I used 17 baubles. I did just count them. I did find in the packet though that there were some less desirable ones. Okay, I didn't notice this obviously until I opened them up. So one of them had a full-on hole in, as you can see. That's not ideal. One of them had like a chip out of it, for example. And then some of the matte ones, the colours on them weren't very good at all. Like it had all this like weird kind of like banding in it. so that wasn't good. And yeah, so if you're going to make this, I would recommend probably picking up just a couple of packets of those, just in case any of them aren't that great. And if you're not going to be painting them, you're not going to be paper macheing them, then you're going to need them to obviously look quite good. But I'm very happy at this DIY. I think that's turned out lovely. And all in all, it's taken me about 40 minutes to put this together. So I don't think that that's too bad at all. The plait down the centre definitely took me the longest part, but I think it was worth it. And just attaching those baubles with the wire, I also think that was worth it as well, because then I can change them out in the future if I want to, just really easily cut them off, or I can paint them if I want to and add them back on. You know, I've got flexibility there. So yeah, very happy about that. And I'm actually going to put that up in my front room on the kind of like picture ledge behind me. So for the final DIY today, I am going to get to this. I was looking through my bag and I thought, I've got the tea towels to do, I've got those present ornaments, I've got the star ornaments, but that is going to be coming in a separate video because yeah, time is clocking on for me today, and it's Vlogmas, so I only have one day to do each video. So this one here we're going to do right now, why not? So this was £1. It's just a tinsel covered candy cane. It does have a little loop. It's kind of cute, to be honest, but not really to my taste. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove all of the tinsel, and judging by that bit earlier that was looped on like that, I don't think it's going to be too hard to remove. So I'm just going to unwind this. I'm actually going to set it aside. I don't want to cut it because I might actually use this for a future project. I don't really like to waste materials, so just unravel the frame and then we'll get to putting it back together. It's just kind of looping around these little edges. There we go, we found the end of the white one, and yeah, we can get to this. Look at this go. Ooh. So we're going to have a white tinsel and a red tinsel for a future craft if I decide to be a tinsel queen. You do never know what, I mean, crafts are going to come next. I never do with my brain. I'd go from one thing to the other. So let's get this off. Okay, tinsel all off. We've got our frame. It does have these little knobbly bits on and I'm not thrilled at that. So I'm going to go in with my wire cutters. I'm just going to cut them off. They look like little mushrooms and I'm just going to fire them all the way around my room, I reckon. Just make an absolute mess. So can't wait for tomorrow when I have to go around hoovering all of these up. Oh! You're going to need goggles, I think, to protect yourself from these flying little buggers. Oh, there's that one. I'm just going to go around and cut them off so we've got a nice smooth frame to work with. Now, I'm sure you can guess what I'm about to do here, but I am going to wrap the kind of wool that I used on the little garland in the place of where the tinsel was. I think this is just going to look so much more kind of put together compared to the tinsel. Do you know what I mean? Like I am a tinsel kind of liker. I just don't love it. Oh, I just attached that bit and I've cut it. Oh, what a silly Billy. Oh well. We'll start off with this little bit, I suppose. I'm going to be hot gluing this down into place because we cut those little bits off. I think hot glue running around will help it all stay in place, if you know what I mean. So we'll just pull that tight there a second. Start again with the end of the actual ball. I can't believe I did that. What an idiot. Okay, hold that down and just start winding away. So every kind of centimetre or so I'm going to add some hot glue along the outer cage and the inner cages just to keep it all in place. Obviously if I go any further than that, then the glue will start to cool down and harden, so I'm just going to do that to keep these strands into place, and I'm going to wind it down to the bottom. Then I'm going to alternate with the cream. So I'm probably going to need 2 layers on here actually, just to make sure all of the frame is covered up. Okay, red wall all done. Can you see I've kind of like joined it up with one continuous piece, just kept wrapping it round. I'm now going to go in with the cream wool just as the base. We'll then add some extra details and everything like that on, but this is just replacing the tinsel. If you're a tinsel lover, then good for you. Yeah, you're going to save yourself a bunch of time replacing the tinsel with some wool. This wasn't actually my original plan for this, but somehow this is what's happening. So I don't quite know how I got here, but we're here. Wrapping this damn thing with wool, so it's going to kind of look like one big pom-pom, isn't it, really? But yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm going to keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping, and maybe I'll like go back and buy the stocking one and do what I originally planned for this one. In fact, I might buy another one of these, you never know, and we'll do that as the original plan if I have time, because I actually really do want to make that version as well. But for some reason I'm in a wrapping mood, so I'm just going to continue wrapping this candy cane until we've got a good base going. I'm just going obviously from the cream to the red, and then when I jump to the next colour, I'm just going to bring it up at the back. The back's not going to matter too much, we're not going to ever see that, so just going to keep wrapping around and gluing it as and when I feel like I need to just secure down. Okay, candy cane all wrapped up. Tell me this already doesn't look a million times better being in this wool. I think it just looks so cozy and fun. So for the final little touch now, I'm just going to rip off some of this old shirt. It's like the most perfect blue check, and I've been using this in a whole bunch of my like DIYs recently, as you guys would have seen. Like I made those little ginger angels, these babies with the dresses out of it. I've just got a lot just from this one shirt that I've been upcycling, so I'm just going to take that, I'm going to tie it around the centre and give it a nice little bow as a little country check vibe, and that is going to be the last little touch I'm going to give, because I'm tired now and I'm very. So I'm not sure where I got to on my video because my camera died and my microphone has died. It's 11 PM. I've been in here since 12. So like, that's blimmin' forever. I know I had a couple hours gap when I went out for a walk and I got my dinner, but still. Anyway, I just tied on a little kind of bow on there with some check fabric. That is the check fabric that I've been using on all my angels and stuff, so it ties back in. I finished obviously all the wrapping with the wool. Look how cool that is. It's like almost like a giant pom-pom, and there it is. How cool is that? Now I do think a couple of rustic bells on there, that's gonna look superb, but it is my bedtime. I might do that at a later date. In fact, I might do that tomorrow, just add a couple of bells on there. I think that would be lovely. So without further ado, I want to say a huge thank you for making it to the end of this video. I love that. What a vibe. I am sorry. Who is she? I think it looks so much more expensive now. And I think styled up right, I think that's going to look really good, especially like on a little door or something next to a good stocking, you know. I do have a bunch of other little things that I still need to upcycle, obviously. But we will get to that in another video, I'm absolutely sure. I obviously want to say a huge thank you to Mr. Carrington for obviously partnering with me on this video and doing a little crafty collab. That's definitely spurred me on today and getting this done and staying up till 11 PM getting this complete. So definitely check out his channel if you haven't already. Like I said, he has his cruise series, he does charity shop videos, he does vlogs, he's on a TV show, he's got his own book out. He's absolutely amazing, so if you haven't checked him out already, you should. Thank you so much to him for obviously, yeah, just wanting to partner with me again and doing a cute little DIY video, and yeah, spurring me on to do my crafts. So I want to say thank you to him, huge thank you to you to making it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 5. Bye.